Pain is an unavoidable part of life, but have you ever wondered about the most intense pains the human body can endure? From the sharp sting of a wasp to the excruciating agony of kidney stones, pain can come in many forms, some of which are so severe that they leave lasting physical and emotional scars. While some pains are brief and manageable, others can linger for weeks, months, or even years, disrupting daily life and challenging a person's resilience. The human body, while remarkable in its ability to heal and adapt, can still be subjected to excruciating levels of pain that push it to the limit. In this exploration of the most terrible pains a person can experience, we'll look at everything from the sharp, temporary sting of a wasp to the devastating, life-altering conditions like fibromyalgia and the venomous sting of the Irukandji jellyfish. Let's dive into some of the most unbearable experiences humans have reported, and maybe you'll gain a deeper appreciation for the moments when your body is free of pain. Wasp sting. The sting of a wasp is sharp, immediate, and can be quite painful, but it pales in comparison to some of the other agonies people endure. When a wasp stings, it injects venom into the skin, causing a sharp, burning sensation that is usually accompanied by swelling and redness. The pain typically subsides within a few hours, but for those who are allergic, a wasp sting can lead to much more severe reactions, including anaphylaxis, a life-threatening condition. Despite its intensity, a wasp sting is often described as a brief but powerful burst of pain, akin to having a hot needle jabbed into the skin. What makes it bearable is that the pain fades relatively quickly for most people. However, in contrast to other painful experiences, this sting is just the beginning of what the body can endure. Consider, for example, surgeries done without anesthesia or contact with certain venomous plants. These kinds of experiences make a wasp sting feel insignificant. For many, a wasp sting is their first real encounter with sudden, intense pain, but it's a mild introduction compared to what some endure regularly. Whether from chronic conditions or severe accidents, the body's ability to feel pain can escalate to terrifying levels, leaving a wasp sting as a mere inconvenience by comparison. Kidney stones. Kidney stones are often described as one of the most severe pains a person can experience. These stones form when calcium and other minerals crystallize in the kidneys, eventually passing through the narrow ureter on their way out of the body. The process is agonizing, with patients often likening the pain to being stabbed repeatedly in the back or abdomen. As the stone moves, the pain can radiate to the lower abdomen and groin, making it difficult to find relief. What makes kidney stones particularly unbearable is their unpredictability. The pain can strike suddenly and last for hours, with waves of intense discomfort. In some cases, the stones get stuck, blocking urine flow and increasing the pressure inside the kidneys. This not only exacerbates the pain, but can also lead to infections and further complications. The journey of passing a kidney stone is often described as a relentless and grueling experience, one that tests a person's tolerance to its limits. For some, the only solution is surgical intervention to remove the stones. Those who have endured this type of pain often rank it among the worst experiences of their lives, with many comparing it to or even surpassing the pain of childbirth. It's a reminder that while the body is a resilient machine, certain conditions can bring it to its knees. Gympie Gympie plant tree. The Gympie Gympie plant, native to Australia, is notorious for causing one of the most excruciating and prolonged pains imaginable. Covered in tiny, hair-like needles, this plant releases a potent neurotoxin when touched. The initial contact feels like being burned and electrocuted simultaneously, but the pain doesn't stop there. It can persist for weeks, months, or even years. In one famous case, an Australian forester suffered from the effects of a Gympie Gympie sting for 2 years, with the pain occasionally returning like a nightmare that wouldn't end. What sets the Gympie Gympie apart from other painful encounters is its lasting impact. While many painful experiences subside with treatment or time, the toxins from this plant embed in the skin, continuing to cause agony long after the initial contact. The pain can be so overwhelming that it has driven some people to the brink of madness. Stories circulate about individuals who, unable to cope with the unrelenting pain, resorted to drastic measures to seek relief. Treatment involves painstakingly removing the tiny, venomous hairs from the skin, but even with medical care, the effects can linger. The Gympie Gympie reminds us that nature has its own cruel ways of testing the limits of human endurance, offering a pain so unique and severe that it has no real comparison. Molten metal in the eye? Welder's burn. Imagine a droplet of molten metal falling directly into your eye. This horrifying scenario occurred to a plumber whose eye was burned by a splash of solder during a job. The pain of such a burn is indescribable, with victims often describing it as if coarse sand were being constantly rubbed into their eyes. The eye, one of the most sensitive parts of the human body, reacts to even the smallest irritants with intense pain, but a burn of this magnitude takes that discomfort to a whole new level. The sensation is not just one of burning, but also of stabbing, as the intense heat penetrates the delicate tissues of the eye. The plumber's experience is a testament to how fragile and vulnerable certain parts of our body are. The constant throbbing pain is accompanied by extreme sensitivity to light and a relentless stream of tears as the body desperately tries to repair the damage. Unfortunately, in many cases, such injuries can cause lasting damage to vision or even blindness. Recovering from an eye burn is a slow, painful process that involves treatments ranging from eye drops to surgery. The psychological toll is equally significant, as the fear of losing sight can be as distressing as the physical pain itself. This type of injury serves as a reminder that some of the worst pains are not just fleeting moments, but life-altering events. Gout is a type of arthritis that is infamous for the sharp, sudden pain it causes, often starting in the big toe. Caused by a buildup of uric acid crystals in the joints, gout flares up unexpectedly, leaving the affected area swollen, red, and excruciatingly tender. Even the lightest touch, like a sheet brushing against the foot, can feel unbearable. The intensity of the pain during a gout attack is often compared to having the bones in your foot crushed or shattered. Beyond the immediate pain, gout can have long-term consequences if not managed properly. The recurring attacks can lead to chronic inflammation and permanent joint damage, reducing mobility and significantly impacting a person's quality of life. Treatment usually involves medications to reduce uric acid levels and anti-inflammatory drugs to manage pain, but the fear of future attacks lingers in the minds of those affected. For those who suffer from gout, the pain is not just physical. The unpredictability of attacks and the lifestyle changes required to manage the condition can lead to frustration and stress. Whether it's avoiding certain foods or dealing with the after effects of a painful flare-up, gout leaves its mark both on the body and on everyday life. Tarantula hawk wasp sting. The sting of the tarantula hawk wasp is considered one of the most painful insect stings in the world. Known for paralyzing tarantulas to serve as food for their larvae, this wasp delivers a sting that has been described as a blinding, electrifying pain. According to entomologist Justin Schmidt, who has cataloged insect stings, the pain is so intense that the best course of action is to simply lie down and scream. Fortunately, the excruciating pain only lasts about 15 minutes, but during that time, it feels as though the nervous system is being short-circuited. Despite its intensity, the sting is not life-threatening to humans, but it is unforgettable. Victims of the tarantula hawk sting report that even though the pain fades relatively quickly, the memory of it does not. It's a sharp reminder of nature's capacity to inflict acute suffering with the tiniest of creatures. Interestingly, this sting, while excruciating, doesn't cause significant long-term damage. Unlike bites or stings from venomous creatures that can lead to swelling or infection, the tarantula hawk sting is purely painful with no lasting physical effects, but the psychological trauma can remain, especially for those who encounter it unexpectedly. Candiru fish. The candiru, a tiny fish found in the Amazon River, is infamous for causing one of the most uniquely horrifying pains imaginable. This parasitic fish is known for its habit of entering the urethra of people who urinate in the river, attracted by the flow. Once inside, its barbs make it nearly impossible to remove without surgical intervention. The pain is immediate and overwhelming, described as a sharp, stabbing agony that spreads through the entire lower abdomen. The thought of something as small as a fish causing such intense pain is terrifying. What makes the Candiru encounter so horrifying isn't just the physical pain, but the psychological shock of having an invasive creature lodged in such a sensitive part of the body. Victims must undergo surgery to have the fish removed, which adds another layer of trauma to the already excruciating experience. While such incidents are rare, the pain caused by the Candiru is legendary, and those who have experienced it never forget the intense suffering. It's a stark reminder that some of the worst pain doesn't come from large or obvious dangers, but from small, unexpected threats that take the body completely by surprise. Fibromyalgia. Fibromyalgia is a chronic condition that causes widespread pain throughout the body, often described as a constant ache or burning sensation. This condition not only affects the muscles, but also increases sensitivity to pain, making everyday activities painful and exhausting. Sufferers of fibromyalgia frequently report difficulty sleeping, fatigue, and cognitive issues, which only amplify the sense of pain and discomfort. Unlike acute injuries, fibromyalgia pain doesn't go away. It lingers, wearing down both the body and the mind over time. What makes fibromyalgia particularly difficult to live with is the fact that there is no cure. Managing the pain becomes a lifelong challenge, requiring a combination of medications, physical therapy, and lifestyle changes. Those who suffer from fibromyalgia often feel isolated, as the condition isn't always visible to others, making it harder for them to receive the empathy they need. Despite being a non-lethal condition, fibromyalgia has a significant impact on quality of life. The relentless nature of the pain, combined with its unpredictability, makes even the simplest of tasks feel overwhelming. It's a type of pain that not only tests physical endurance, but also takes a heavy toll on emotional well-being. Irukandji syndrome. The Irukandji jellyfish, found off the coast of Australia, may be small, but its sting packs a punch that few can endure. The sting itself may feel mild at first, but within minutes, the pain intensifies to unbearable levels, spreading through the body like wildfire. Victims describe the sensation as being drilled through the back, while simultaneously experiencing muscle cramps, nausea, and the terrifying feeling of impending doom. This intense physical pain is accompanied by severe psychological distress, as the venom triggers a sense of panic and fear. Irukandji syndrome, named after the jellyfish that causes it, is a unique combination of excruciating pain and psychological torment. The venom spreads rapidly, causing muscle spasms and headaches so severe that many victims feel like they are on the brink of death. Despite the extreme pain, the sting is rarely fatal, but it often leaves its victims traumatized. Recovery from Irukandji syndrome can take days or even weeks, with some victims requiring hospitalization to manage the pain. Even after the physical symptoms have subsided, the mental toll of such an intense experience lingers, with many victims reporting nightmares or anxiety about going near the water again. The Irukandji jellyfish serves as a reminder that some of the most painful experiences are also the most unexpected. Pain is an inevitable part of the human experience, but the types of pain described here push the boundaries of what the body and mind can endure. Whether it's the burning agony of a wasp sting or the life-altering chronic pain of fibromyalgia, these experiences highlight just how vulnerable the human body can be. As we've seen, pain is not only a physical sensation, but also an emotional and psychological burden that can shape how we live our lives. The next time you experience even the slightest discomfort, remember these extreme cases and be grateful for the moments when your body is free from pain.